The very
First
first
ever.
one ever. It's the 1400s. We're in a medieval castle.
I'm bailing out.
You're the
Yeah,
court. You're the royal court as we
I
come
don't-
together.
Being of not a straight white man persuasion, I do not opt for a 1400s
Well, that's the
scenario.
beauty
Can
of
we
role
pretend-
play.
Can
Is
we
that we
close our
can
eyes
all
and
pretend to be
really
straight white men.
sell- We're all
We can all
straight
pretend to be
white men.
straight white men.
Let's all go swimming.
everybody.
In the swimming. Well, I mean, I can do the exact same thing. and actually manage to fulfill the straight.
Do you want me to go
You
get
know, the
some
straight
tape,
white
man?
male
We'll just duct
epithet,
tape
yeah.
that flat.
Well,
Make
who is
it
a
look
hat? Wait, pass me that flannel. I can join in with the straight white men.
I'm really scared what you're gonna do with this. Just gently set that phone down. Whoa.
You want to toss me
it's
your
like
robe?
from Portland
then,
now.
Catch?
Oh fuck!
No, toss her the robe.
Oh please don't.
Please toss her the robe.
I don't need that much weight.
The
on me.
robe?
The robe
Do you-
that's still hanging out in the closet.
Do we have a robe
Did
in
I
there?
put
That
this
silk
on
thing?
weird?
Huh? Oh, do you mean my tailored Indian shirt that I got made in India by an
That's a robe.
Indian
That is a robe.
in India?
Do I
That's
look
a
like a
robe.
straight white guy?
No, hang on.
No,
No,
for,
it
no,
didn't work.
not for the
Now
camels.
I just look like a 14-year-old
It's not
that's
for the
really
cam-
into
cam-
Weezer.
camels.
There's nothing robe-like about that. That is
That's so
obviously
robe-y.
a shirt.
That is super
That looks
robe.
wizardy.
Oh my god, I want to be Merlin.
I wear-
Lightning.
All right, everybody, we've got
Whoa.
Merlin.
Get me the witch's cap out of the closet.
That's gone.
We've
Light-
got Merlin.
Oh,
lightning
shit,
bolt.
man.
We've got Merlin.
Alright.
This
We
has
got cool
costume
dude.
changes.
We've got a 14-year-old obsessed with Weezer. We got a guy drinking beer.
This bit is.
Welcome to the
no.
1400s.
I'm bailing out of this bit.
Dan Harmon.
all right,
Wizard.
all right, Dad. Whatever you want.
We got Dad.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
the Hawaiian shirt really works for
Yeah,
that.
for sure. Yeah.
All right, so load us in. Introduce us.
Yeah.
All right. On these podcasts, they have zero content.
We're not helping.
welcome to Scofler Podcast. This is take one, the first time we're starting up tonight, and I'm so excited that you're here with us tonight. We're joined by the ever fabulous Wizard Rachel, Red Shirt Danny, the mythical shirt wearer, and of course Father. That's the whole group of guests
Our
tonight.
father or your father?
The father.
The Father.
The
yeah.
father. Okay.
Think everything that you can think of.
The
He
Father,
is
the
the
Son,
Father
and the
of.
Spirit.
Yeah, the Father.
Not holy, though.
The Father of the Father, the Son,
I'm
and
sure
the Holy
he has
Spirit.
holes. But
I mean,
he's
it's
not
Yom
holy.
Kippur. Like, we could have something going on
Sure.
with fathers. That doesn't make sense at all. It's the
I
Jewish New Year.
don't want to talk dads on the podcast if that's okay.
I'm good not doing that either.
Yeah, I think in general we should try and keep this podcast dad free.
Parent-free?
Yeah, if we can
But
keep.
fathers are okay.
No, the father is okay. But I think a dad free podcast should be the end
What
game
about
here,
a
right?
father?
What about dad jokes, though?
Depends on what flavor and variety of dad joke you're gonna go with.
Potentially just like the innocuous, sweet, naive ones, not the potentially racist, unsettling ones.
Yeah, please don't.
Hand settling on
Please
dad.
don't destroy any of the youth that are
No.
out there watching.
I mean, I'll do that by accidentally just being me, but
Sure.
Got it. Yeah. So So I guess real quick, just to start us off. Usually we would do some kind of bit, but I don't know what bit to do since the one I was trying to get going was fucking sunk as soon as we decided to start.
I'm a wizard, though.
welcome to your guests.
Yeah.
This is how we do. We're not yes-anders.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're no and no, please.
Right.
Yeah.
We're no and shut this shit down.
God. Okay.
Want
So.
to try another
Oh,
bit,
am I
or
not
just
supposed to
wanna be
cuss?
sad?
I apologize.
Well, I like you can't just bits don't just grow on trees. I can't go out to the bit tree and be like, what
But you
should I
can
do today?
get bitcoins.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, not
Why
from
not
the
just
bit
mine
tree.
it? Mine's
Mine the
bits.
bitcoins.
Go ahead and mine it.
Go into the mines
do it.
and
All
get some
right,
bits.
all right. That's the bit. We're going to go mine cryptocurrency.
Okay.
We're just going down
We're
into
gonna be like the
we're
Pirate
going
Bay.
down into the caves to go.
The Pirate Bay
salvage
where
that.
they used your
Hello,
CPU
chat.
to mine bitcoins.
Yeah.
Hello, chat.
Hello again. We're happy to be back
I'm taking
and
us
more
off.
complete this time. I like that we're running smooth.
You're smooth.
Which is exciting.
Oh, I smooth them, Dad.
Well,
See, dad jokes.
Yeah.
Good dad jokes.
that's really why why people come here, right? Oh, geez.
That was probably
Fuck,
horrible.
that was a really
Yeah.
bad idea.
I was aiming for his head.
So there's been there's a Netflix series that just came out. It's called Neo Yokio.
Oh.
We talked very briefly about it, and you guys are like, okay, well, we've
No
never
one's
seen
seen
it.
it.
Yeah, but so
what?
it's made by a musician and like a Twitter celebrity who came together to create something. If you had to put a celebrity and a musician together to create an animated series, what would you do, and what would come out of it? I realize I'm asking a lot of you now, which is
Well,
why.
especially since we know the answer of this particular question.
Well, yeah, I mean, what is it? I mean,
You're rated number 1 on the podcast already.
I already got
Against me's the best. So, can I just cut in there, Laura,
Laura Croft.
no,
Laura Croft, everyone's favorite musician, queuing up for that.
Laura Jane Grace would be like my musician choice.
Okay, so Laura Jane Grace paired with.
What Twitter celebrity? I guess.
I think any you could probably do any celebrity and be
okay.
fine.
Can I say Laura Jane Grace and Maria Bamford? Because that'd be a fucking rad combo.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know who
That
either
works.
of those people are.
So, lead singer of Against Me.
Okay.
Oh, you're the
Musician.
lead singer of Against Me.
No, you're an asshole.
Dad jokes.
And Maria Bamford's a comedian, and she's great.
Okay, so you've got a comedian and a lead singer.
I'm
of
really
Against
happy
Me.
my idea strikes nobody with
I'm sure
awareness.
Teddy gets it. I'm sure Teddy gets it.
There was a bell that sounded off in a town very far away.
Someone was like, ha ha ha, ha.
Oh, what a cool combo.
You got me with your joke, and then everyone's like walking away from that
Okay,
person
what-
now.
What about Anita Sarkeesian and Simon and Garfunkel?
What's the premise of the show?
Oh my god.
Sound of Silence.
Silence.
Oh god, that'd be a really weird combo.
I'm thinking.
I tried to shoot for something that was so far in one direction, and then I took my bow and arrow and I fired in the other one, and they landed on.
Elsewhere, yeah.
Thank you, Teddy. Bamford. But yeah, you're close enough. You're good. Thank you, Teddy, for knowing who the fuck Maria Bamford is, though. You win.
I mean, isn't part of the question that this is an unlikely pairing?
Yeah,
right?
no, this would never happen. I could think of like doing
Mine
like.
was a realistic pairing. Sorry.
Well, you do like Bill Nye the Science Guy
Oh,
and
no.
like Linkin Park.
And that doesn't exist anymore. Sorry, it won't work.
Well, like Chester from Beyond the Grave is trying to teach kids science. It'd be like Ghost Chester.
That would be
Rises
the best.
up and tries-
That would be the best rap battle because Bill Nye would deny his existence, while
Because he's a ghost?
yes,
Yeah.
while Chester.
No,
tries-
just in general because just period.
I think
Uh,
my actor would definitely be Clint Eastwood.
Okay.
For
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
But I'm debating
Cross
on the musician. I'm thinking of the musician. I'm
Well, it should
thinking.
be the Gorillas, and they should sing Clint Eastwood.
But that's
That'd
the
be some
obvious
great
choice.
animated
Yeah.
stuff.
That's the obvious choice
Okay.
because it's already technically been done because the name of the song is Dirty Harry. But I'm thinking.
30 Harry.
Dirty Harry. Dirty Rock Harry.
Ugh.
Now I just keep adjusting my shirt to make sure you
thinking,
can see it.
Right, yeah. Rep it.
I want to say
I gotta.
Melanie Martinez, or I'm thinking of like a pop person. Who did that? Who did that really poppy
Selena, and she's dead. I can't believe you would go there.
song? No,
Funky Town was a hit.
it was. It's
Yeah.
Even the chat is like, back on
Right.
topic.
Right.
Try and zone it
something
back in.
not this weird conversation.
All right, so
I
now
was
you're
looking-
okay, but
I'm looking up the
we've got
the
a
artist.
sour going on.
Yeah, some Cuvée des something German. It's a
Cuvée de
Jacobins?
Jacobins.
It's
Is
a-
that
It's a sour.
is that German? That
I
doesn't
don't-
even look
Don't
German.
all
Matt,
German
what are you
monks
pounding?
make-
Well, it's not as cool as that.
What are you pounding?
Cuvée von Jacobin
Oh, God.
sounds like propaganda.
Okay, I got it.
I'm
If
drinking-
you can tell what this says, it's far away. But there
Clint
you go.
Eastwood and Carly Rae Jepsen.
Wow.
That's a combo. What about Dolly Parton?
Yeah,
That'd
call
be
me
an
once
Well,
you get off
that'd
my
still be
lawn.
like she's still like old school, like country sorta, and he like was an old country movie, so that's like still working. But I want to see just grizzled Dirty Harry, just grizzled Clint Eastwood with super poppy like Carly Rae Jepsen.
That'd
Hot
be-
pea.
it'd
Yeah,
be-
that's a
it'd be
good statement.
beautiful.
David Bowie and the developers from Bluehole.
What?
I guess they are Twitter celebrities in some way, yeah.
Man, not only is one of those people dead, that's
So
not
that
even
weird-
a person. Yeah.
So that weird anime you were talking about.
Yeah. So
Neo.
so Neo
Egg
Yokio. Right. So like I
But
I
can
know
you give,
that.
for the audience, can you give them like a rundown of what it's about?
Give me the elevator pitch of
Yeah.
You know, so
30 seconds, go.
Okay, Ezra Koenig sits down and is like, I want to write a show about
But
a.
wait, go back into your bit, though.
So-
Do it under your bit.
Okay.
Right, okay, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna start counting you. Ready? 30 seconds. Go.
Someone at Netflix is like, all right, we need to do a bit where we take a famous Twitter celebrity and a musician, we put them together. Someone was like, I really like Vampire Weekend, and so they call Ezra Koenig, and they're like, which celebrity do you want to work with? And they're like, he's like, Jaden Smith, I like Windows to the Soul. And he's like, okay, what's the show going to be about? And he's like, I want a future city where my butler fights evil demons.
1.
All right, that's a pretty decent elevator pitch. Okay. I got Jaden Smith, demons, and
Vampire Weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
core
it.
ingredients.
So like so Vampire Weekend, the name of the band comes from a show that Ezra wrote while he was in college, and the Neo Yokio plays out exactly like the kind of thing that was written by someone who at one point wrote a screenplay called Vampire Weekend.
It sounds terrible.
It
does also make for the best Halloween costume, which is you put in fake fangs and then you put a sign on your shirt that says Friday or Saturday.
but not
That's
Sunday.
not a weekend. It's your weekend. Okay.
I get it.
People are
I
gonna
get
be
the
like,
concept to be
people are
a
like,
costume
you're
of Vampire
wrong.
Weekend. But this whole show sounds awful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the premise is two unlikely people collaborating on something creative, right? Like that's what drew you into it? Question mark. Yeah.
Yeah. So people that it's two people that I think are interesting who came together to make something, right? But like you know, I assume that every person on the couch right now has flirted with writing at some point, writing something. It doesn't matter what it is.
Sure.
And you know, one of the thoughts that you probably had is like, oh, this feels really contrived. Like while you're scribbling out your characters, you're like, oh, like maybe I should like flesh these people out more.
I just
Ezra
had flashbacks
Koenig
to
just like fucked
Inuyasha
a pile of
fanfiction.
cocaine and was like, I'm just gonna write and to see what comes out.
So he went the route of like what Stephen King did when he wrote a few things in the past.
Yeah.
After a
Was that-
bender.
A few things. Like when he made his car movies where all the cars came
Do
to life
you
and started
notice
killing
that
people.
he has not
Transformers?
been as prolific recently?
Weird. But okay. That sounds like absolute crap.
Yeah.
Friend.
I mean, if you think like, what's the most contrived character you can come up with right now? For me, it's like a car that doesn't want to be a car anymore, and so is just like running around trying to tell people it's a person.
Oh yeah.
Again,
that's
I'm
first
having
top
flashbacks.
Set in
five.
rich
Yeah.
New York. Wait, you neglected to tell me though that it's set in rich New York.
Yes.
Oh,
So like, there's
none
also,
of this sounds good.
There's
This
also like a
sounds
really
awful.
deep like class like there's like classism, and there's like a whole bit where like for example, there's a black and white ball, and one of the suits that Jaden Smith's character is wearing is like the darkest shade of midnight blue.
Is this live action?
No,
Okay.
it's anime.
But it's animated Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got pink hair. I don't know.
It's anime.
It's anime.
It's anime.
Voiced with Jaden
Okay.
Smith.
Fair. Yeah.
And what I am seeing from chat, which is really helpful as well, is the
back to
audio
the
is
70s
crappy
Rich
as
New York.
well.
Yeah, even the trailer sort of looked like it was a bad dub.
That sucks.
Yeah,
That's like a worst case scenario too. If you're gonna make something cool,
Yeah.
If you're gonna make something with
Cool
an
in deep
interesting
quotes.
concept, it would make sense to at least put some effort into the audio.
it's a personality first, like cart before horse kind of show, where they were like, we've got these two people who are interesting and are probably capable creators in their own right, and let's just see what happens when we put them in a box together. And the answer is Neo Yokio, a show wherein at one point two people fall in the water and switch bodies.
That just cause.
Didn't they already do that with Fruits Basket? Except like, that's already a thing.
Was Jaden Smith in Fruits Basket?
Oh my god, I would have watched that. I would have
What's
watched
Jaden
that for
Smith's
sure.
zodiac sign? Is it just Jaden Smith?
Right, wait. We want a contrived premise, right?
Yeah.
A ghost of a person who recently died who doesn't want to be dead.
Inuyasha? No, sorry, no. Yu Yu Hakusho is the one I want.
But yeah, he comes back to life and he goes back to high school for some reason.
I'm just gonna go with gender bender. Like,
Freaky
Oh,
Friday?
we
Like,
just
what?
I
oh
don't know.
no,
I
we
don't know.
switched bodies, or oh no,
This
I'm
sounds
a
like the
girl
premise
now.
of a lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Right.
How about a whiteboard that is tired of being written on?
Are you just coming up with weird concepts? Is
I
that
am
your
looking
whole-
around the room and trying to piece things
So
together.
you're
I'm a
not
microwave.
necessarily trying to just explain like
I am
a thing that already exists.
I'm
with-
contriving a contrived concept.
I am.
Well,
I'm,
okay,
Okay.
so when I
let's-
say contrived, what I really mean it, like the point I'm trying to get to is that the characters all start at a location and they have like a one like episode character arc, and then they stay at the end of that arc forever. So like Jaden Smith's character like realizes that it's not all about like fashion at one point, and then like that's just where he stays. Like he doesn't move past that. There's like a blogger, a fashion blogger who gets sick of like fashion blogging. It takes one episode for her to get there, and she just like doesn't leave her room anymore because everything's bullshit, yada yada yada. And that's it. That's her whole character arc. Is she's fashion blogger to against fashion, and that takes one episode, and then she doesn't do anything else besides rail against fashion, and that's every character.
Right. It's the
This
what
sounds-
is that Channel 101 Dan Harmon kind of. You have to take what you've learned, brought it back, and change the environment. That's what you were.
Right, you
interacting
have to
with.
come full circle. Like it has to be an entire character. It can't just be I've reached one step.
Yeah, and what you hope to happen is like, for example, to throw it back at like an Avatar, which it does it really really well. Sokka like learns how to fight with swords, but he's still a coward and like still sort of sucks at sword fighting. But he gets kind of a little bit better, and you get to watch him grow as a martial artist throughout the whole series. And every episode, you get to see him confront that like cowardice part of him
To be
after he's got
fair-
tools to do it.
To be fair, just because like Sokka's cool,
Yeah,
Azula tried to take him out first.
yeah.
Because he is great. Like he's a good.
Nobody watches anime.
He's the brain guy. Like he comes up with plans. That's the reason she always goes after him first. So in the scene that you see a lot in like the GIF where they're all shooting like different elements at it, and then
Yeah.
you see Sokka's boomerang, she dodges the boomerang first. Like she
Wow.
makes sure that's taken care of first
Oh, weird.
before she takes care of any of the other elements.
Yeah.
So to respond to chat though, like, she's a blogger. She's already one dimensional.
Hey.
That good joke, but tis. But like at the same time, no one is one dimensional.
I mean, if they're written badly.
Right? Sure.
Yeah, because
but
that
like,
could have been the end of the character introduction, right? Like they said, "Hey, I'm a blogger," and then they failed to extrapolate from that point.
But
right?
also a good point to make is if you're writing a thing, don't write a character that is one dimensional. If you're gonna write,
But Ezra, like, it feels like Ezra doesn't know any better. Like
Okay.
every
I know,
character.
but if you put any character in, like the whole point of writing about it, like you wouldn't write about somebody that just lives at home with their cats who does nothing ever and is not unexciting.
Why
you
not?
would.
I'm so hurt that
I
you would
wouldn't-
even say that
I
about
wouldn't watch
cat
a
people.
thing that doesn't do anything. I would watch a show about somebody
That's
that
the
has more
entire
to
premise
them.
of Hoarders. Have you never watched an episode of Hoarders?
Hoarders isn't a fully written show with fictionalized characters.
Well, I mean,
Those
I think,
people aren't real. There's no such thing as a real hoarder.
What about Extreme Couponers?
What the fuck's
That is
couponing?
another reality TV show, whether or not there are fictionalized points.
So wait, Getch, did this fail?
Did this fail? So that's a really fucking good question because I think it's got like there's a
You mean
kind of
Portlandia?
appeal the
Yeah.
show has.
That's
There's
a comedy sketch show. That's why that's different.
yeah.
That's making fun of one-dimensional people.
I mean, I feel like not to distract from that tangent, but like I think characters can be one-dimensional if it serves the purpose of the theme and the message of like not every creative aspect needs to be
Yeah.
fully fleshed out characters, in my opinion.
No, that's fair. I just think like if you have them as a main focus and you're doing a story arc about them, there typically needs to be more than hi one thing. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's like what like Adventure Time, like all of the Adventure Time morals start somewhere and then end a place you didn't expect them to. That's still like equally meaningful. Like the whole bit where like Jake makes his sandwich and then Finn's like, hey, and Jake offers Finn some and Finn's like, no, I know you offered that because like you're my friend, but I know that's important to you, and so I'm just gonna let you have the whole sandwich. Like it's just a throwaway line where it's like, oh, that's like super cool and like understanding and nice. But Neo Yokio particularly exists as the product, like exists solely as a product of these two people who had no other artistic intention than collaboration. So it was born out of the desire to force something into existence from these two creative minds, rather than these two creative minds having an idea for something.
Is this a parallel for what's happening right now?
Yeah, no, totally. Like this podcast only exists under the forced weight of our collaboration. Yeah, that's the only.
What if we're just figments of Matt's imagination?
Are we?
Right?
Aren't
oh
we?
man,
I
I'm
don't.
super one-dimensional.
He's actually just talking
Are-
in a room right now.
Are any of you a fashion blogger? That's-
No.
Yeah.
I blog and I don't fashion. Does that count?
that works for
Is your
me.
entire blog based on the idea that you
That you
don't
don't
fashion?
fashion.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
I get on every morning and I'm like, man, I'm so glad that I'm
I'm immune to
I'm
the.
You
not
take
fashioning
pictures.
right now.
You take pictures of what you're wearing,
Yeah.
your outfit of the day, but
I take
it
ironic,
has-
unironic pictures of my regular clothes.
Exactly. You're taking
Uh-huh.
pictures of your non-fashion clothing to
Sure.
post it
Yeah.
about how not fashion you are.
You're just
Sometimes
like,
I take the same clothes every like 3 days in a row just to show how non-fashionable I am.
see
Wow,
that
what a-
barbecue stain
I
that's
know.
been there
The-
for 4
what a
days.
firm,
some
good
group,
stance
some
you're
group of kids
doing.
out there is like,
That's like a political
I need to
statement.
wear.
I'm
I
also
need to
saving.
keep my clothes on for 3
I'm
days.
also saving water and soap, right? Because I'm making a statement about water
Save-
conservation, probably.
No,
Are you
they
just
actually-
an environmentalist
Oh, yeah.
secretly trying to talk about the fashion industry, but really it's about the environment?
Oh yeah.
He's really into.
I water my
conserving
plants
soap.
with the same water that I drink.
He like goes to like a fur rally,
You
but
pee
instead
on
of
your
throwing-
plants.
You just have a gray water system everywhere?
So wait, Getch, your solution to this show failing is that they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they got in a room together and they were like, yep, show made.
No, because I think so.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about failure, you usually talk about there being a goal, and the show's goal
Was to get these two people.
was
in
to
the room.
get these two people together, and
So it succeeded.
yeah, like it works. It works for what it is. I'm not saying you should go watch it. You really shouldn't. Just because it's kind of a waste of time. But it's like after you finish the show, and I booked through all of it in one sitting. After you finish it, you're kind of like, oh, like that was interesting. Like you were like that was something different, I guess. But like every character stands out for the wrong reasons. They all have like one aspect that makes them interesting or cool. One of them is Jaden Smith. Like one character is like a mech butler that's always like passive aggressive. Like that's the whole show.
I mean, Teddy makes a good kind of tangential point too. Like BoJack Horseman is a great exercise in one-dimensional characters powering the show, right? And
Well,
am I alone in this?
So
No,
I
it's-
can't watch BoJack Horseman because
Such
I
a
get
good show,
depressed.
Right, but he also doesn't change. There's zero
Yeah,
character,
character
development
growth,
in the
yeah.
movie, but it still is some sort of like it helps propel that message forward.
I do think that follows through though with comedy. Like
Yeah, for sure.
Teddy made a good point earlier talking about Portlandia,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a sketch comedy show. A lot of comedies get away with the concept that they're allowed to not do fully realized characters because they're making separate points or they're doing gags. Whereas like dramas or full story arced shows that are trying to portray more of a point, they are the ones that I feel are held to a higher standard of at least you have to have a fully realized character.
Well, that's the idea behind comedy, right? Is you take something and you extrapolate on an idea that is outrageous. I don't know if you've ever seen the increasingly poor decisions of Todd Margaret, but it is.
Oh, yeah,
it
yeah.
is now 18 episodes worth of one guy who doesn't just
Who never progresses.
like if you could step on dog poop and then proceed to take the next step into more dog poop and then just keep doing that ad infinitum.
That even in and of itself though had more realized characters.
Right?
Though.
Yeah.
Like
but
there
it's-
was a progression.
Well, it's cool because everyone around him
Kinda.
is like responds normally. Like
Right.
everyone around him is like healthy and like capable of making
Realistic
good decisions, and he's just like, no, man, I gotta fucking sell these energy drinks now. All of a sudden,
Yeah,
absolutely.
my dad is from Leeds. But my dad is dead. But we used to go see Queen every weekend. But I'm from Leeds.
What?
That's an entire portion of that show.
It's like 5 minutes of him, like the more
Him
the,
digging himself into
the
the
last
consistently.
a callback to one of like the first jokes, because that's one of the first jokes when he arrives in England, is that he tries to convince someone who he's never met before that he's from England for no other reason than because he's uncomfortable. He's trying to get out of England back to the US, and he's talking to a TSA guy at the airport, and the guy has like a picture of him back when he had like a full beard and like hair or whatever, and he now has like a shaved head, no facial hair, and it's like, oh, you look a little different. Yeah, it's just, you know, and it just crashes, right? He hits a wall. He's like, yeah, but I'm actually from England, but I live in the U.S. But it's because my dad was from England, but you know he died, so you can't find him anymore. But I used to be from here, so I used to come here all the time, and I used to do this thing, but I'm just trying to get back home, and it's just 5 minutes of him going, and eventually the TSA guy gets an email that makes him quit his job, and that's the reason he gets through airport security. is because the TSA guy has something better to do.
It's just like I'm gonna quit my job right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Getch, so
I want to know why you're sweating.
Getch,
Me?
so
Why are you
you're
sweating?
Oh, it's
'Cause
you're
it's
the
hot in here?
you're the coffee person for this writer room
You
for
want a
Neo
popsicle?
Yokio.
good.
Okay.
You see the whiteboard, you see the proverbial writings on the wall, and you're like, "Fuck, I'm gonna be out of a job."
All
All right.
Well, okay.
So how do you say this, right? Like you're
No, it's like the only way to, because like a show needs to do like go somewhere, but this show is like committed to its direction by virtue of the fact that Ezra Koenig seems to just be able to generate new characters. Like at one point, there's like a Russian like race car driver who shows up in the show and becomes the focus of an episode. Never again. They go away forever after that. They're just gone. And like they keep setting these characters up like for they progress, and then they probably wonder why, like, oh, we can't think of another story for this character, and the answer is because your character's already finished. Like
Right,
they're already completed their arc. And so if I was like a writer at the show, I would just
No,
quit.
coffee.
Oh, sorry. I'm a coffee. I would, I'd probably be like Mr. Koenig. I don't know if you've noticed, but your characters are all flat. And he would look at me.
What?
Yeah. Well, what are you saying? And, probably with the way that conversation.
you?
Probably what he'd say is, look at my paycheck and look what they're paying me
That's
to,
fair.
to do this, right?
Oh,
like.
man.
I get the real feeling that from the very beginning they kind of knew what kind of experience you were going to be getting out of it. And again, the show is interesting. When you get through it, you're like, that leaves a taste in my brain tongue that I've never gotten from anything else before. But it's still very like
It's not good.
it's just not it's a palette that you're not used to, which is why it's good, but it's not good. It's just
Is
different.
it like the natto you had earlier?
Yeah.
There you go.
Can I just say, if you guys ever make T-shirts, "Taste in my brain tongue" is definitely the first one you need to make.
Actually, we've got a queue. One of them is a guy on a pirate ship where the sails are a tattered Photoshop logo.
Oh, that's good.
Where he's saying Yarg, because that's where we get all our programs.
It's the one
I
do
like
3,
it.
2, 1 clap thing.
But
There's
taste,
one clap sync, but taste in my brain tongue is a good.
I don't know. I don't know
it's
what
just
picture.
taste in my brain tongue.
Do I
You would
unmute
just
it?
have a picture of your face open with a weird tongue sticking out. That's all
Is
you
it-
would do.
Is it because I'm not near to the microphone?
Oh no! Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Hey.
I don't know. So like, if you could make anything that you wanted to make, right? Like let's say whatever you had to take one piece of writing that you've produced and take it from idea to like concept to creation. Like, what would you get? Like, what kind of thing would you have?
Well, I mean, like that kind of boils down to there's no auteurs anymore, right? Like,
Yeah.
This guy wrote the screenplay. I'm sure he had some sort of creative power, but that's no longer your baby anymore. Like,
Man, Dan Harmon talks about that so much.
does he?
Because I'm going through. I mean, to be fair, I'm going through Harmontown from the beginning, right? So the first available podcast, and I'm going through all. I'm trying to catch up to now, which is like some 300 podcasts. So there goes 500 hours of my life.
Triple R.
Hey, C Triple R.
How's it going, buddy?
But the podcast started shortly after he got fired from Community, so he's bitter about it all the time, every time, right? And
I wonder
and
why.
The one that I just finished listening to was talking about how he got hired at CBS to write a show, and he said that he wasn't going to put any effort into it because. So he leads in with a joke, which is, people keep saying get more ratings, and he said, I figured it out. I'm just going to go to a network that has more ratings or better ratings,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So he says like, when you pitch a show like, oh, it's this thing and it's about firemen, and then the guy you're pitching it to says like, oh, it's great, but can they be cops? If you have an idea in mind, you're gonna be like, no, they can't fucking be cops. That's totally not the point of the show. But if I go in there and I don't care about the show, but it's like, yeah, of course. Oh man, you're a genius. You're perfect. Yes, let's do it. Let's make them cops because it doesn't matter. Because I'm not emotionally invested.
I like how my answer was, I don't care because I don't have creative control, and Brian's answer was, well, whatever makes me money.
The underlying factor of all creativity.
I mean, to
Is
be
that
fair,
towards-
I'd sell out in
Is that
a
towards
moment.
Brian? That has to be towards toward me?
Well,
Are you a GPS? Because I'm lost with you.
Without you. Wait, with
It
you.
says
Oh,
with
whoops.
you.
Lost it.
Oh, no.
He's probably still using like 2000 era TomTom.
So real quick, so I went to go pick up my Destiny 2 Special Edition from the UPS fulfillment center.
Why did you get a hard copy?
Oh, because it comes with a backpack.
Wait, is this the one
I
that's like?
spent
Haven't you seen his backpack? He's
I
been, like carting it
I
around.
spent-
all
Wait,
the
is it
time.
the one
No, I
that
don't pay
the
attention to
mailman
that
like
shit.
decided not to deliver?
Yeah,
to
so
be
so first of all,
heartless.
I was supposed to get it on Saturday. I was like really excited. I like sat at home all day, and then I got a message that's like, package has been delayed by receiver. And I was like, what the fuck does this mean? So I already started angry. I wrote a bunch of angry emails to UPS being like, why did my package get delayed? And I eventually they were like, the dude said you didn't want it, so fucking we have to wait now because it was Saturday. They don't deliver on Sunday.
What?
So I had to drive to the UPS fulfillment center, and the GPS, the Google one, to get to the East Lake Fulfillment Center tells you to just fucking pull a hard right on the 125, drive up a hill through a fence to get to the UPS Fulfillment Center. So I paid 50 cents to get on the freeway, then stop in the middle of a lane to figure out how the fuck I was supposed to get up this hill in my car before just driving up the hill. And so I just drove in a circle around the UPS fulfillment facility for an hour and a half trying to figure out how the fuck to get into this building. I woke up so early that day to try and get
But the
there.
important
That's
part is you
amazing.
got it right.
Also, side note, Stiltzman, you're totally right.
No one has gotten laid with a backpack since Nom.
Oh no, Monster Truck is totally right there too.
Wait, what? Backpacks are sexy. If someone walked up to me wearing nothing but a backpack, I'd be like, yeah.
What's in the backpack? I guess at that point, like it's not clothes.
Oh, the overlay. The overlay. Snap
Oh
down.
boy.
My question
Mini
is
lay.
then, swinging back to Neo Yokio,
What
if
happened?
Oh, no,
people
every
just
so
knew
often
this was gonna be
it
bad.
shrinks.
No.
Oh,
God.
it was.
Oh yeah. At least he didn't pull up the cold brew run this time.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Backpacks are the new fanny pack.
Fuck you,
No,
dude.
Backpacks are still just backpacks.
Who wrote that?
They carry things and that's it.
Who wrote that?
Stiltzman.
Fuck you, Stiltzman. I know where you live.
Do you?
Bags?
Because that's terrifying.
Yeah, it's Jeremy.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
Well,
Or Pip Boys? Yeah, Pip Boys are what get you laid for real.
The short, like the fully.
So
well, this
if
is
someone
turn
walks
on
up to me
bats,
wearing
right?
nothing but a
And then
Pip-Boy, I'm
you
gonna
get
be
to
like,
determine your chances of success.
Exactly. I'm just, I'm tracking my stats here. Hold on. Got it.
My special me.
My
special
Radaway
meter.
totally kicked in right
Yeah.
now. You know you want to get laid with me. That sounded really unsettling.
Are you a magician?
I'm really
have you
good at
ever
hooking
have
up
you
with
ever
people.
dropped any of those lines in bar?
Man, what is
bar.
with these
Yeah.
pickup
In
lines,
bar.
man?
In
Yeah.
bar, yes.
That's you
In
set the
bar.
scene.
Wait, what is?
Okay, so the edition of Destiny that you bought, according to CRRR, are a scam. You get the game, a backpack, which is poorly made, a sunlight generator thingy, which no one has any need for unless you were one of the early adopters who buttholed the Switch.
Who bought a Switch?
No, who buttholed the switch? Let him.
I know
what
what
he
I said.
One of
Oh,
the early
Switch.
adopter
What's
buttholes
a
who bought
sunlight
a Switch.
generator besides the sun?
It's so it has a solar panel on it. Is
Oh,
what he's trying to get
sunlight
to.
generator is your
Oh, okay,
response to solar panel? I really appreciate you, Teddy.
Well, I really
Words.
so the backpack is actually really nice, but it also cost $125.
What
For
the
that.
hell?
No,
Yeah.
220.
No,
Sorry.
so you can get the super. There is the special edition which was 100, and then there's a special edition that was 125. That came with like all of the like the art book and the like 3 rock things, but not the backpack.
Oh.
And so if you paid $225,
You got a backpack and
you
a
got a
solar
backpack
generator.
and all of the other stuff too.
That is absolutely obnoxiously weird and stupid. I'm
Yes.
sorry. I
And
can't.
It worked on Gats, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but like honestly, if Bungie was like, we've got Destiny 2 dildos, I would fucking like be like,
Sit on it.
here's my wallet, like just how much you gonna charge me? I'll
You're
take
gonna
it.
be like one of those people who every time there's a new president, they make a dildo out of it. And
No, what's going on? What?
They also made presidential toilet paper, though.
This is
I-
ridiculous. I don't understand
So the
paying
moral
that
of the
much
story, the allegory is you.
Well, much
for swag.
much like I
That's
couldn't find
okay.
the UPS fulfillment facility,
You
Ezra
cannot-
Koenig could not find the plot for Neo Yokio.
Fair statement.
But
I
seriously,
don't-
that facility like impossible to find. It's a ghost town.
It's because it's called fulfillment, and it's trying to teach us life lessons.
It's alright. I
Couldn't
mean, the
find
UPS
fulfillment.
The UPS fulfillment center near my house actually either still or they've already sent it back. They never gave me my Fallout 4 Special Edition guide
Oh,
that I bought special before Fallout 4 even came out, and it
That
was the
sucks.
leather-bound nice thing.
Oh
yeah.
man. So were you able to play the game
Yeah, I played
knowing
it
that you
anyway.
were just gonna like not able
was
to
just-
get all the strategies?
I was just really angry because I wanted the special like edition thing
Yeah.
because I never bought a special edition thing for a game before. But yeah, that didn't work out. So instead, I played Fallout 4, and then within a few hours, because I'm great at gaming, not really. I just immediately
Oh my
started
God.
cheating and using console commands.
these
Wow.
pickup
pickup
lines
line.
are getting me.
What is
Do
going
you
on?
have a pencil? Because I want to erase your past and write our future.
This is weird.
Who's singing pickup lines to us?
Honey Badger.
I think they're towards me because he keeps saying
Yeah.
mad cat and then sad faces.
Yes.
And then it's,
Honey Badger really likes you.
I don't know why.
Well, that's rare. Usually
Wow.
people hit on Brian. Maybe it's
I
the
like Stiltsman. I really appreciate
I want to
Stiltman's
rearrange
work.
the alphabet and put STFU together.
No, it's usually they come on and they call me fat or a cow. And or a dude.
Ouch.
Oh, well, I mean, at least Honey Badger is nice.
I know, like I appreciate like the change of pace.
Yeah. Usually I get insulted. Now I'm being
Yeah.
hit on. What the
I
fuck's
know.
going on? It's like, well, that's
Honey, I know you're just doing it for the green card. I know. It's fine.
wow. I honestly think it's the inclusion of you two who are like changing the light that gets usually cast. Like usually it's aggression towards Brian and Rachel, but
Yeah,
now that you
usually I'm
guys
just
are here,
like-
the scales have tilted, and now they don't know what lightning rod to strike.
Oh,
Oh,
thanks.
throw them all this way. Let's see what happens.
Thank you,
I'll
Inez.
respond.
I appreciate
I'll respond
That motherfucker.
pleasantly.
Why my
that
face?
motherfucker.
No. No.
Any of you been playing Destiny? I mean, clearly you bought a really
So,
ridiculously
yes,
expensive
I-
backpack for
Basically,
No,
what-
he just bought it for the
Nice
app.
glasses.
yeah, no, it's a really nice backpack. I hate the game.
And it's totally towards Sketch. It's on him right
it.
now.
Well, I mean, fucking, my boyfriend played it for 2 weeks straight, didn't go to work.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
Well, Matt almost called out for 3 weeks just to play Destiny.
I was like ready. I was like, I probably wouldn't get fired if
green
I.
card. What the fuck?
I mean, fair.
But like, no, there was a part of me that was like, I probably should like go in. It's really fun. I like it a lot. I think that it's still the same thing where it's like you need people to play with for it to be like any flavor of enjoyable. But oh my god, can you lose time? That like 5-hour day where I just sat down and played Destiny and then like all of my time flooded away from me and I was like, I felt really shitty after. I didn't even know that it had happened until I was 5 hours in.
Would
It
you
just like
compare it to
soaks
Final
away.
Fantasy when I went to sleep while you were playing, woke up and you
no,
were still
because
playing.
I could feel like my time being ground away. Like there was like a music box, and when it pops up, I die. And like I could feel it being turned in Final Fantasy 15. In Destiny, I I wasn't even aware that I was wasting time until I went to go turn all my shit in and was like, holy shit, it's 5 hours later, I'm gonna die. But
God.
it's fun. It's nice. I like it a lot. It
Oh.
does everything an MMO shootery thing is supposed to do. Feel good while shooting and burn time away.
Oh
Yeah.
my fucking god. I'm a motherfucking
I
star
think
boy.
I want to be good at H1Z1 or H1Z2 is trying to talk to you.
Yeah,
Tagged
I was
on.
into D1 Destiny.
Yeah.
Diablo 1.
Diablo 1.
Diablo
Yeah.
1 Destiny.
I played OG Diablo. I was
OGD, if you will.
I
Ogged.
was a skull level.
A skull?
I'm trying to think.
I don't know what that means.
What would the ranks be in Diablo? Skulls, souls, corpses, bodies. Definitely not precious metals.
Hold on, C2 Trip Dog
What
says
is
we
going
agree.
on?
Horchata, you are correct. Getch is drinking a rare
I
barrel.
wanna
You're
see what he
getting,
I
said.
am thinking the rare
What
barrel.
did- what
It's
did,
rare barrels
C-
across the
There we
sea.
go.
Donald Trump dildos are either flying off the shelves for burning by feminists or they're being used. Oh boy.
By
Scrolling
older
back up.
Republican women.
Oh man, what's
Oh,
going
wow.
on?
Old Republican single ladies.
I hear violence.
Getches a rare barrel.
Wasn't OGD in the Wu-Tang Clan?
Hell
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I figured you meant Destiny. Yeah, no, I played Destiny some time ago.
Yeah, Destiny's good. I think it's a B. It's the Law and Order of games.
Wait,
You just
what's
hear.
the SVU
A
of games?
solid B plus.
Yeah, like at best, like
Yeah.
on a
Maybe
good
a
day.
solid C plus.
Yeah,
Really.
what it does well is that you can play it at any time and never feel like you're getting into something that you can't handle. Even like raids.
Like skill level wise?
Yeah, like when you sit down and play PUBG, like you either go in kind of like I'm just gonna like fly in and I'm gonna die right away, or I'm gonna like
Wait,
try really hard, or I'm gonna
Mine and
like
mine, yeah.
Find money, yeah.
try and survive until the very end. But always you kind of come in with like a mindset that requires you to do some kind of like thinking. When you sit down to play Destiny, you just turn off. Like, it's the best game for like sitting and talking to your friends about like the football game, or like talking to your friends about baking or whatever else.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like trying to type and then I read that and I'm like, oh my god.
Heading out. Catch you guys later. Love you, Mad Cats. Call me, baby. What's your number?
Someone's putting someone up
your
to this,
phone
right?
Come
number.
on, we gotta know.
Huh?
We gotta know.
Someone has to be like fucking with me, right?
Why?
No, you've got
This
a
doesn't
secret
happen.
admirer.
This doesn't happen.
You have
got a
you have
secret
affectionate
admirer.
fans. That's
That's
fine.
a lie.
All right.
The other time this happened was
It's
when I
your
was wearing
pink
my.
bunny. It's really setting them off.
The other time this happened, I was wearing a Zelda watch and the dude was drunk, so I understood it.
Hey, nice Zelda watch. Hey, hey, hey.
Is that your
Hey.
method of hitting on people?
It's a nice
'Cause I'll-
Zelda watch you got on.
I'll tell you
Hey.
right now, you would fit in really great on the streets of New York, but nowhere
Hey.
fucking else.
Hey,
Hey,
why are you ignoring me?
hey, look at me. Hey,
I'm
is
having
that
flashbacks.
Is that a Zelda watch? Hey, so look at me.
No, it's not. It's not a Zelda watch.
It's not
No,
Zelda.
it's
Are you
not.
sure? I see the triangle.
It's
Excuse me,
I'm a-
sir.
I'm a-
I'm trying to get on the subway.
Oh.
Can you leave me alone?
Mr. Police Officer. I don't. It's a.
This
it's
is a weird
it's
bit
a
right
Mason.
It's a Oh yeah, Masons.
Mason?
Yeah,
Watch?
yeah.
They
This
built
is a-
they built the
Are
Temple
you
of Time
still
though.
hitting on me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. This is the only way I know how to interact with people.
Apple watches.
yeah.
I go to bars, I drink, and then I yell at them.
Yeah. Hey.
They
This-
recast Dinklage?
Yeah, in Oh, it's
and
true.
the
I'm
ghost?
the only person without glasses. But it's because I got laser eye surgery.
Well, now you just passed the torch of the non-glasses wearing.
There you go.
Don't I look like a natural?
You look gorgeous.
I can't see chat very well at all
Hey.
now.
Hey. Are those glasses?
Here, I'll make you feel better.
Let's
I'm
give
just
us your
gonna do
glasses.
Are
this.
you two separate people? One guy hits on
Yeah.
via watches, and the
They
other
stand
one
next to each
Yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah.
Between the both of them, they
They
can hit
cover
like
bases, yeah.
50% of people. I actually, if I take my glasses off, I'm always worried people are gonna discover like how heavy my brow is.
Keep them off. If I engage in
Damn.
glasses wear, I end the world.
What if you just make yourself
That's a weird concept.
Just
I don't know if
have a monocle.
Brian wearing glasses will ruin
Yarg.
it.
Well, so if you could have any, like, if you did this one thing and it killed everybody, what would you want the thing to be?
Oh, okay.
Like mine would be opening spam, because spam's terrible. Like, I just never do it.
So wait, are you
So
talking
when you
about it would
open-
kill everyone?
Yeah, so if
Or-
I ever
if
open
me
a can
doing
of
something
spam.
innocuous would kill everybody, what would it be? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the way to rephrase the question. At Mrs. SAT over here, punching in the first paragraph of your essay.
I'm really sorry.
Yeah, so am
That should
I.
be your superpower.
Yeah.
If
Make
you,
rings.
if you read.
If I ever rephrase a question
Ah.
more clearly and appropriately, it just ends the world.
Shit.
That's my getting caught face. Hold
What
up.
just happened?
No, never mind. It's back. Okay.
Smooth,
So
smooth.
something like
Well, I'm thinking like squeezing toothpaste from
Every
like,
time I pass gas, someone drops dead.
Oh shit.
Well, no, it's like so you do it, everyone dies. If you do this
Including
thing,
oneself.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, I imagine it's everybody. Like everyone's gone.
Sneezing and burping at the same time.
Okay, that's involuntary though. Are you sure you want to? Like how close to each other is at the same time? Is it like the burp starts
thinking.
Yeah.
at the
People
same
are-
time?
Nolan
Sorry.
North's a good Batman and Nathan Drake, but doesn't mean he would be good in any other role.
I mean, that's fair, but Nolan North is pretty good in general. Like,
His voice is also has like the right level of cheekiness, I think, to play the Ghost, whose only role in the game is like one-liners.
I just think Nolan North is one of, like, quite a few right now really good voice actors. Like, he does have a really good habit of, like, figuring out how to just minorly even adjust his voice to make it fit the right character. Now, granted, I did not play Destiny, so I don't know what voice
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
But I will say I do like almost everything Nolan North has done.
Yeah.
I think my only issue with the change that they did to the Ghost, right, was... because the Ghost was written this way. The difference is that Peter Dinklage, when he delivered it, was sort of dry and robotic.
he was just reading.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
they're
he
like
was- he
Peter
was just
Dinklage,
reading.
how much money do we have to pay you to act? And he's like, way too much. Like, all right, how much do we have to pay you to
So just
read?
read
And
the
he's
script.
like, just right.
But Nolan North turned him into a quitbot, and I just want him to shut up. If I had a floating little thing that kept bringing me back to life, no matter how many times I committed suicide,
So you
Played
just
and
Borderlands.
all they kept doing was like, "Wow, that shirt hurt. That sure looked like it hurt." Like, shut up.
so
what do
just
you want to
you
bet
just
though they did that
you
because
just
of,
hate The
what
Legend
was
of
it,
Zelda.
Portal 2, they had such like a good hit with
With
like
Wheatley?
that. Yeah. So like that happened. See,
I
I,
mean, it's a
liked
fine
him, but I like
line.
that actor. So
Do you think
I'm
they
gonna
wanted
just
to turn
carry
the
on with
ghost
that.
into Claptrap?
I don't know what they were going for. No, because Claptrap's like kind of raunchy. Like his whole thing is like he's kind of dirty, and I feel
Yeah,
like
but
he's a
people-
clown. Like
People are always like,
Keep in mind though, that was all direction. Like
Yeah,
in
no,
terms
of course.
voice acting, like that is much less on.
What would you have wanted for the ghost?
I love the Ghost. I like what it does right now. Exactly spot on. I think it fills the because the game is supposed to be like space, like wizards do cool shit, and it is that, but it isn't funny. And I like funny. I think like everything just benefits from funny. That's why I think with Destiny 2 in particular, they were like, oh, we've got Cade Six, who's played by Malcolm Reynolds, who has another name, but he's Malcolm Reynolds to me. And that's all he'll ever be is Malcolm Reynolds.
Nathan
and it's-
Fillion?
Shh, Malcolm Reynolds, and they just have him be Malcolm Reynolds, and they if I say it again, is it just?
I'm just gonna fall apart with laughter. I'm sorry.
But like all the advertising
Good?
focuses on
Yeah,
him
I'm
and
fine.
Nolan North.
So like, are you enjoying it because it injects some sort of humor there? Or,
Yeah, yeah. It's just like because like all of the strikes, all of the stuff, things that you have to do to like mine resource so you can get rare things, so you can boost up your like numbers, are all like, if you don't do this, we're all gonna die. Like every plot line is like, the world is ending unless you go and break these 3
And
rocks.
it's
So at
being
least-
done tongue in cheek, or
No, you finally have one character
I
that's
have one
cutting
character
through the
that's-
grimdark that's
Yeah.
gonna be like, hey, here's some sarcasm and comedy to really
there's
lighten
like
the mood.
there's a whole bit in one of the strikes where like so one of the mechanics in Destiny is like someone has to grab an orb and has to escort this orb that they carry that takes your gun away to a place that where you dunk, you have to put the orb in a slot, you dunk it, and they were like, did you just grab that thing's pushing out crazy amounts of radiation. No one said grab it, and that's like what the ghost is saying. Then you go up to dunk it, and you like Cade is like, yeah, go out and dunk the orb now, and the ghost is like, what is dunking? And then Cade's like, it's when you take a dangerous thing and put it into another dangerous thing. Like that's the ghost like creating this moment of like, oh, like this is kind of funny all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean that is legitimately funny.
Yeah.
Right? But I also don't think that every moment, just from what I saw, and to be fair, I'm only basing it off my experience with Destiny 1, where everything was equipped.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need like the heavy to make the brevity have meaning. If you have just one after another, right? Like that moment you told me where the ghost realizes that it can die too. Right? That was kind of nice.
Yeah, but that was it. Like that's the one
That's
line
it.
where it's like the ghost is like, oh, where's his ghost? And
It
you're like,
sounds to me like the scripting was just kind of like too one-sided on all of the directions. But so I'm reading
Yeah.
CRR's statement about like he was cast in Destiny solely because he was good in Uncharted and Batman, and the casting directors just went with that. So this gives me a question because I haven't played Destiny at all.
Please.
Did Dinklage voice the original character in the first Destiny, and that's what people are comparing it to, or they just
No,
cast him
no.
for this
So
one?
here's the
People heard
issue.
a sample of it,
No,
and now they're mad.
Here's the issue. Destiny was about to be released, and part of the publicity was we've got Peter Dinklage voicing the ghost, right? Your
Okay.
companion. They released the game. He's voicing the ghost. There's a bunch of like fallback from it because he does a not great job.
And it's robotic and not and kind of.
Yeah, there's something about
Stiff.
it. Either like people argue
It was
either Peter Dinklage was not a voice actor and that he struggled with it, or that the directing was awful.
yeah.
It
And
sounds
it
to me in
sounded
general like
super-
the
Not
directing was
only
awful.
Super
was he
bad.
like robotic, there also wasn't a lot. Like he had like 12 lines, because he was so expensive. Was like the rumor why.
It sounds like just the direction in general was not great, because
Yeah.
if the Nolan North answer was like, okay, we have to last second bring in somebody, and to go
Well,
off
it's not even
future.
last second. At some point, they just updated the game and then replaced all the lines that were already
Well,
said.
and so they probably just brought in Nolan North, who's already proven to just be able to do video
course.
games, and like he can be quippy and he can just do a thing, and he probably ran with it, right?
Yeah.
So like to go off CRRR, you're probably right. They probably went, "Oh crap, we need to call somebody right now." Nolan, you did Nathan, you did him fine. Like let's go. And so he probably jumped in the reins and went, "Here's your 12 lines, and let's pile in 1 million more because we can afford you."
You know,
And then
so
that was
it-
it.
You know what I think? Sorry, I was thinking right now about Peter Dinklage. I think Peter Dinklage may just not be good for comedy. Because I'm
Probably.
thinking to when he was in 30 Rock. Like he was in 30 Rock for like an episode.
He played the straight man, really.
Yeah, I think that maybe he just can't do comedy, and what they did, unfortunately, was they wrote him as kind of like this quip machine, turned him into a robot, and because he wasn't delivering anything as the straight man, he was saying things that were legitimately supposed to offset you being super serious, so it sounded really off, right? Because he gave the delivery of a line, like, give me a line. I can't remember one for the life of me right now.
Because
The
there
ghost
aren't
says.
any
Not to completely disagree with
memorable
you,
lines.
but Dinklage has been on SNL and stuff, and he actually has some of like
yeah?
not terrible.
Well, that's the thing. I was
like,
basing off the
sketches.
only thing that I've lately
So
seen
like
in-
he's not the worst in that regard. I won't say that he's gonna be great for riffing, but
Yeah.
like also if the script isn't great and the direction isn't easy, like if it's not like a director going, okay, we're gonna have a straight up actor, we're not gonna have a voice actor right now.
Yeah.
We need to direct him, as opposed to like if you have Nolan North or anybody else for that matter who's
Well,
a straight up voice actor,
yeah.
they're gonna know exactly what to do.
And I predict too, like if you have an in-game companion, like you really kind of need them to do two things. You need them to elucidate facts about what you're trying to do and provide exposition.
Within the tone of the game.
Yeah, within the tone of the game, and as long as you can do that, and it's like it's entertaining too, like your goal is met and you succeed. But like he provided narrative, but I don't think he was entertaining.
That makes sense.
And then so it's kind of like he was doing everything. He was hitting all of the things that he needed to hit, maybe, but he wasn't doing it in a way that was like.
So my thing is,
impactful.
it's in my opinion, it's a fine line because you're saying it succeeded with the current iteration of
Sorry,
Ghost, right?
Yeah.
no, your headband looked like it blended into the background, so I thought it was being green screened, but
Sorry.
it wasn't.
No, you're fine.
Neo headband.
Before it goes out of frame, though, like even if you're the highest paid voice actor, you're still not paid
Cheaper
at the
than Peter
same
Dinklage.
level of Dinklage. Like just to throw that out there, highest paid voice actor doesn't mean you are an on-screen
Yeah.
phenomenon of payment. Like for HBO show, that's
Yeah.
pretty
Like
big.
And
to
it's
kind
especially
of put
weird
this
because-
in. Go ahead. Yeah.
Being no, like, and again, I hate this argument because it's not true. Saying that Bungie at some point did Halo doesn't mean that anyone who is still at Bungie worked on Halo at all.
Yeah.
But Bungie, the studio, at some point worked on Halo, but had the same relationship that you have in Destiny, which is the man of action or the person of action, right? Who's dry and is just trying to get the job done, doesn't have very many lines, if at all. And then you've got the AI that's in your
Cortana.
head talking to you all the time, and the delivery was a lot better there, right? Cortana never felt annoying, never felt like she was saying stuff.
Because Cortana was
More-
also central to the role. Like she did things.
I heard
like,
the word sensual to the role, but thank you.
I mean,
Continue.
she was basically like a naked blue lady.
Yeah, I mean, like Cortana interacted with the story. She was like the way that Chief communicated and bargained and did all the other stuff with all the other characters in the universe, which is like, you know, cool, whatever. Whereas like the Ghost is like all he does is give you information, and if you have to hold square over something, he's the thing that flies out to say hack the console.
So what's a quip machine that fails?
A quip machine that fails, me. Anything that like that sits.
Self-depreciation.
Yeah.
No,
and-
no, in a current.
So,
Yeah.
like for example, I think like in I'm trying to think of a really good example, but like for example in Senua Sacrifice, we would argue that the Furies, which is the in-game credit, is supposed to provide the same fundamental role as the Ghost does in Destiny, albeit it has a different narrative direction. Instead of it being a quip machine, it's
Right.
like a you have mental illness machine that is running a kind
Instead,
of
you have
underlying.
4 different voices whispering at you in a very terrifying fashion. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, whatever.
and if you see the weird documentary about it, you literally see 4 actors walking around in front of a mic.
Yep.
It's weird.
Does it look like ears? Is it one of those like 3DO
No, they had
microphones?
like a full they had a 360 mic, and like people were just walking around it to hit different points, so you would hear it in different ways, like you would hear normal.
Weird.
It was odd. I kind of fucked up though. I watched that first before playing the game, and so I was already primed for like this is going to be disturbing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so like a bad one just kind of leaves you feeling like you're disconnected from the game. I think is kind of what I want from a quip machine or from one of these like informal like floating voices is to feel closer to the narrative or to feel closer to the characters. And if it doesn't do that, then like the fuck's it there for? Like it's just there to detract or to put something into the game.
Teddy wants us to after show.
Ugh. But we started so late.
Well, that's why I said trying to get to the real full hour.
Yeah.
Because we started 20 minutes late.
Yeah.
I tried.
All right, give me the Quip Machine comedic element in that one game.
In
Samoa. Or
sen-
There
sen-
wasn't
there-
one.
so
Yeah, yeah.
Just
No,
ran
I
two
want
games.
Getch to do it.
What? Oh no! Am I supposed to be
Oh.
the four voices that
No,
are
it's that weird uncle guy from the very beginning.
the one that's like Senua?
Yeah.
What are
Dad?
you doing here?
Exactly.
that your
I'm
dad?
teaching you.
Yeah.
I'm talking
Gross.
like this. This is real gross.
It's trying to be a funny voice of like insanity. I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
No.
this is a danger zone.
I
Okay,
believe.
Okay, what if we did like a role playing thing, right? Where you're the character and we're the four people on your
I
shoulders.
feel like that
And
falls
we-
into the same death
we,
trap. Right? See,
I'm not partaking with this. No.
I push Getch into that corner. Now you
Haley's just
put
like,
us in
no,
that
thank
corner."
you. I don't
No.
want it.
okay. So one of us is the voice of reason. One of us is the voice of greed. We have a voice
No,
of.
I'm opting out of this like very slippery slope. of danger.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to like say like, oh, of like the voice of
that
something
mean-
really offensive.
No, it shouldn't.
Okay.
Thank goodness that hasn't happened.
Let's say Link's
It's like
broken.
like the modern
I got it.
Horsemen of Apocalypse.
One of you will be Instagram. One of you will be Facebook. Look, guys, I'm edgy and modern. Whoa. What do you?
I'm pretty sure that Discord link doesn't work.
Oh,
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah,
Which
that's
I-
annoying.
A
And
subreddit. That would
Brian
be
also
interesting.
like deleted all of my custom-made links, and I'm sad.
So subreddits, I think you can't make your own. I think someone else has to do it for you.
No, you can do
Uh,
it.
Yeah. Well, I'll make a Discord link. later.
Triple R. I'm getting you
How would someone else
the
have
link
to
right
make
now.
it if you can't make
So
it?
make
like
it one
the
time.
whole idea, because if you make it yourself, you have to find people to populate it. I think there's something really dissatisfying with like you go to a subreddit, there's like 12 people there. Like for example, one of my favorite subreddits for a long time was Tees with 3 E's, and it's just pictures of golf tees, and they were all posted by one person. And he stopped posting like in 2013. But there's still like 250 photos plus of just golf tees, and it's also an 18 plus subreddit. And so I just like when I go there, I'm like, oh, this is sad because no one's here now. And so when people come to like the
Why are you
skill
looking at me
floor,
sad? I didn't break
subreddit,
the red-
This
the
is
Reddit.
sad because no one's here now.
yeah.
No, that was sad because it was called Tees with 3 E's about a guy posting golf tees.
It was really funny. I really liked it. I like going there and seeing which exciting golf tees he found that day.
What do you think that person was like?
Oh,
What
probably
was his day to day?
he probably ran a podcast where he talked about Neo Yokio. It's
Or maybe he was one of those guys that like takes part in that Instagram that's literally about taking pictures of Starbucks trash around.
Oh, I like that.
That is a real
that's
thing.
Actually poignant.
That's actually fairly fun. I followed it for a bit because it like started getting a really big following,
Yeah.
and a lot of random people were like, "I'm taking pictures
Alright,
of
I'll see.
Starbucks trash around the city." It's pretty good.
Good.
I mixed it.
Yeah, no.
They want to know your take on Destiny too.
My take on Destiny 2, I watched a little bit of it. I technically know what raids are now and how level caps work in it.
Then maybe he had a fashion blog.
Yeah, there you go. Or maybe he had a fashion blog. My take on it is it ate my boyfriend's life for 2 weeks, and I got to watch a lot of Star Trek on my phone.
While he was
Yeah.
playing.
I think 2 weeks is like an appropriate amount of time though. I'm
He's still technically playing it. It's just he didn't go to work for 2 weeks, and he did
Oh.
that. Instead, but he did get to
Oh,
play
look
online
at
with
that.
a couple people.
It's hanging from the drapes. Dirty laundry.
What?
Never mind.
Okay.
Was that?
We were airing it out.
Oh God!
Hey, it's another dad joke.
Hey,
Hey,
ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Oh, I was just more laughing about the fact that I have no actual opinion. My only opinion
Well-
is I watched a lot of like
what do you
TV
think?
on my phone.
What do you think about kind of what Getch was saying? Why that game is appealing in that it is almost a glorified hangout chat room. You get to tune out. It's not like you have to think about every step you take. And
So unpopular opinion kid sits here. I don't fully get it. I get that you might want to hang out with your buddies and play a
Yeah.
game, and that's totally cool. But I also never understood Halo to a full extent, and I really, if I want to hang out with my friends, it's either I'm hanging out with them in person, or I can talk to them through Discord while I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
Because, like, if I'm playing a game, I can't fucking concentrate with people in my ear the whole time.
Do you
I know
know-
there's a whole part to it where you're, like, working together to make it do a thing.
Coop. Yeah.
We're
cooping together.
But
Yeah.
I don't trust them enough to follow
Do you
through.
go
I
to
don't-
like Sprouts and you're like, oh yeah, this is a nice coop. I really like this place.
No, I just like to call it Coop because it makes me giggle.
You don't
Instead
think-
of co-op.
You don't think that Matt putting on the VR goggles and going to a virtual hangout and making friends with two random guys
And
then
giving him
going down,
blowjobs.
going down on his knees,
Giving
and
virtual
virtual
blowjobs and
handjobs
handies
to
to these
guys,
three
is that
British
not-
dudes.
To
Is that-
each their own. I have never felt comfortable with online friending in general. I have a disconnect and I don't really fully get it. I also
No, I
am
understand.
constantly terrified of people being terrible dicks.
Teddy says
Nice.
podcast coops.
Listen, as someone who's done, I did Destiny, I did World of Warcraft, I've done
Oh, you
my
made
fair
those games?
share. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
I
is
was
his
solely responsible.
his last name is Bungie.
Star Trek Discovery,
Actually,
that's
it's
cool.
Even
Activision.
for Blizzard, yeah.
Is
yeah,
anyone
Brian
gonna play
Activision.
the VR game of the Star Trek
The Bridge
Bridge
Crew?
Simulator?
I kind of want it
Because
because
that kind of
looks.
looks awesome, but
So-
you only can play it with multiple people. 'cause
Yeah,
it would suck
we'd have to
alone.
have so.
Well,
how,
there's the non-VR version of that game.
have you
Oh,
played
really?
Space
Yeah, yeah.
Team by any chance? Any of you guys? Oh my god! So
Well, I don't
Space Team is space. I think Space Team was done by Terry Kavanagh, who, if you like indie games, whose name you recognize as being responsible for like
The Impossible. To
Real quick, Gadget,
yeah.
I believe we are now at the 1 hour mark.
Okay.
You're an hour
But so
Thank
like
you.
it's so everyone on their phone has a different panel.
Yeah.
And you get
Yeah.
instructions that for other people's panels. So you have to like yell at your other teammates to try and get them to like hit the button on their panel or like turn the dial to 11. And it's just this like mess of people not listening to each other. It feels like we're all married and it's frustrating and we're all arguing with each other. It's so much fun. Anyway, thank you for coming to the Skill Floor Podcast. I've been your host, Matthew. I've been joined today by two brand new people and four fabulous guests. Give them on the camera. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves very briefly? I don't know.
Hi, I'm Haley.
Hi, I guess I'm Brandon.
Gross.
Wow. Ew.
Yeah. Why would you say your name like that?
I'm Haley. This is
So
Brandon.
you're both Haley? Yeah. Is it Haley Brandon or is it Brandon Haley?
I'm Vanilla Raisin.
Okay.
My rapper name.
Vanilla
Yeah.
raisin.
I don't know what my core name is.
Chocolate Ice.
Chocolate ice.
Chocolate eyes.
Chocolate ice.
All right, thank you for coming to the Skill Floor
Ice.
Podcast. We're
I
gonna
like
cue
that.
into the after show now. Thank you for
That was
joining
my
us.
lead-in.
We're gonna after show. So you guys have all seen the clap sync or have witnessed or like understand the way this works. We're just gonna count down and then
Warm up.
clap. I know it's
Ready.
hard. There's 3,
2,
2.
1.